Good morning, everyone. We are working on a 1994 GMC Sierra K1500 350 with TBI. First issue, fuel pump piled up. Put a pressure gauge in line just behind the throttle body. We were at 6 psi. So, new fuel pump, new fuel filter, hooked everything up again. We now have 12 psi at the throttle body. It now starts, runs, still runs like shit, but at least it runs. And it dies when you put it into gear. So there's a bunch of stuff that everybody says you should change. And these trucks are OBD1. I don't know too many guys that have a code reader, but I went to the dollar store and I picked up a code reader. You probably have one sitting in your house. So what we're gonna do is put the ignition to the on, and we are gonna slip down here to the port. On the right hand side, we are gonna jump these two pins. And what this does is put your vehicle into diagnostic mode. Service engine light will flash 1 and then 2, and it will do that 3 times. Then it will start throwing you a code. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Code 15, engine coolant temp sensor. Code number 2, 22, throttle position sensor. Code number 3, 35, idle air control problem, idle problem. No shit, eh? Runs like hell. Back to 12. That's all it has for codes. So that's one way you can check without replacing a bunch of parts. Now the other thing that I did do was disconnect the map sensor, put a voltmeter onto the map sensor. It's still plugged in. You're going to tie into the middle wire, which is your vacuum. You're going to ground it to the negative post on your battery. You should have 5 volts. You're then going to put a vacuum onto it, and if your voltage decreases as you put a draw on it, your map sensor is fine. So that's one less thing to change. So this truck has 3 issues from the diagnostics. It has engine coolant temp sensor, throttle position sensor, and idle air control idle problem. That is a much smaller list than some of the stuff I've seen online for what guys are recommending you change and check after you've checked all your grounds and checked for vacuum leaks and everything else. That's simple and inexpensive. If you're going to start dumping a bunch of parts into it and trying to figure it out that way, maybe you want to go buy a little paper clip.